The other bit of AEW news is that Jade Cargill is reportedly done. Sean said it first, and then Dave said that he said it, or he's heard it too. Sorry. This is big, guys. I'm not going to downplay this. I've seen some people downplay it, but this is the first person. Well, I guess the first person is really Brian Pillman Jr., but this is the first kind of like name person that AEW has started from scratch that is leaving. And that's bad. And I think I've always been really high on Jade. The thing about Jade is that she was always training on the job. We watched her doing on-the-job training. And is she still green? Yes. Was she polished? No. But I think she did a pretty good job considering that, like, she was training in front of our eyes. I mean, I couldn't have done that good a job. When I was training in front of no people, I sucked, and she was basically doing it on national TV. But I do think this is a big failing of Tony's. Jade is someone who, she had a WWE tryout, and things, I'm not totally sure whether it's like they didn't want her or they didn't want her enough to accommodate her. But she ended up going to AEW, signing with AEW. And if you look back to her appearance on Talk is Jericho, she did, like, she kind of went into everything that went into like the story of why she signed with AEW. And it seemed like Tony did make a lot of promises to her. I think there's stuff that's really important to her with being a mom, that he was able to accommodate that in a way that WWE weren't. Like, she kept her name and everything like that. And Jade is absolutely someone who wants to be a star. She wants big name recognition outside of wrestling. And I think it was probably sold to her like she was going to get that and that she was going to become a big deal. But I think that Jade's like story in AEW is very emblematic of the booking problems that I've been talking about for so long now of the women's division, of like how badly the women's division is booked. Because Jade was brought in this like great moment where she brings Shaq to AEW. She brought Shaq to AEW. Originally, it was for a match with Brandy and Cody, and then Brandy became pregnant, so Red Velvet took the spot. Immediately, she came out looking like a star. She was really good on the mic, all of that. And she had that match. And then she was kind of booked like a Goldberg-style character, where she just ran through people because she was extremely powerful, as an athlete, but she was also green as well. So it's better to have her do short matches. So she got this Goldberg style booking, but I don't really think that it fully worked with her being a heel. And it got to the point where her being a heel just didn't seem to be working, because they would do stuff like show her daughter and do all these things that just made you like her. And then, of course, she got the TBS title. That was a big moment, but she's never really had anything substantial, like a substantial feud. I was looking back. There was the Red Velvet saga that was very on and off. There was Nyla Rose stealing the belt to set up a feud, which is just total silly billy. There was the really weird Bow Wow stuff that we need to know what fully went on there, that they ever went for putting that on TV. And then she had, of course, the Taya Valkyrie, we have the same finish feud. They put Mark Sterling with her and the baddies with her. I think initially the baddies presentation was good, but it kind of lost steam. Mark Sterling, comedy heel act, but I always thought Jade could hold her own on the mic, and she would have been way better off talking for herself. So she just suffered from Tony's lack of interest in doing anything more with the women's division than matchmaking it. When it comes to actually being creative with it, writing creative, all that kind of stuff. She didn't really get that. And I know the other week she said in an interview how much she liked Tony and was staying with AEW. And I was shocked by that, because the impression that I got was that she wasn't happy from previous things that she said. And I think it's probably more true that she wasn't happy. And I felt that she wouldn't be happy just because of how she'd been booked. And the Chris Statlander winning the TBS title from her, very like the Hikaru Shida title win thing, where it was a sugar rush, like, wow, this big moment happened. I was there live when it happened. And of course, I cheered when Chris Statlander came out. And a lot of people were very happy for Chris to be back and for Chris to win a title. But when that sugar rush wears off and you sit back and think about it, you're like, wow, Jade had the belt for all this time. And that's how she lost it. She didn't lose it due to like some big epic storyline. Like, there was a point where I thought Willow Nightingale could be the person who beats her, because it looked like they were actually having a story. Then no. I wouldn't have wanted it to be Taya Valkyrie, but it wasn't even Taya Valkyrie, the person she was feuding with. It was Chris Statlander returning out of nowhere. And I started thinking about Cody and Brandy, because obviously Cody is in WWE and Cody was a big supporter of Jade, and I'm sure that they have been having friendly, non-contact tampering texts, back and forth ever since Cody left. And it made me think about Brandy. Now, I only watched a couple of episodes of Road to the Top because I find it quite bad. But I do remember when Jade was in Road to the Top, they had this whole storyline about her and Red Velvet having a fight where Brandy was like the mediator. And I thought that was really bad. Because it was just that kind of like, oh, women be fighting like catty, stupid stuff that I thought made them both look bad. And I wasn't sure why this was something they'd want to portray on the TV show. And then there was an episode where it's like Brandy's baby shower or something, and a lot of Brandy's story in Road to the Top was her wanting to get back in the ring when she has a baby, her wanting to not have her career stalled by becoming a mother. And like Jade Cargill has a daughter, and I thought, wouldn't it be so much better to show all of this great stuff about Jade, like the fact that she juggles being a wrestler, being a mom, being a fitness model, just generally looking like that and doing all this stuff. The fact that she's able to do that, I would have rather like known a lot more about Jade as a person than have the whole Red Velvet, I think it was Red Velvet fight stuff aired. But anyway, it did make me wonder what Brandy really did backstage, and we've never fully got confirmation on that, because I do wonder if Brandy was a good person to have backstage, just for the women to use as an in-between to Tony. Now, I'm not saying that Tony ignores the women's division or anything like that, but maybe it was beneficial to have a female in a power position backstage that could maybe bring stuff to Tony for you if you didn't feel like that you had that close a relationship with him or like that comfortable presenting ideas, someone to like work on that stuff. So I do wonder about that. And I do think that Jade thinks really highly of herself, and I'm not saying that as a negative. She absolutely should. She sees herself as a star. She is a star, and I think she's always pushing to be a bigger star than what AEW are able to offer her. She has done like a lot of work with them outside of wrestling, appearances and stuff, but I think she's looking for bigger stuff, and probably maybe that's where the Bow Wow things came in. Like, I think she has outside representation, like an outside agent / manager who really pushes her. I'm pretty sure that's why she wasn't on the AEW reality show, because maybe the budget they had for that or what they had in mind for their portrayal didn't really fully mesh with Jade and her team's idea of how she should be presented as basically like this really huge star that's kind of above the rest of the roster. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but like this is a woman who, when I was in Las Vegas, I saw her so many times in the hotel casino, and she's one of the most breathtaking people I've ever seen in my life, like an absolute superstar. I saw her taking a photo with a little girl. I saw her when she arrived at the hotel looking like 10 out of 10, not like someone who'd been traveling. I saw her after the show, and I saw her with Ricky Starks one night going on some kind of night out, like they were night dressed for a night out. And I just thought, my God, that is the most incredible looking person I have ever seen. So I think AEW could have utilized Jade a lot better in so many ways. And I think that the way she carries herself and her presentation was a really big strength. And you could have got that so much more out of that if the creative was better. And she also needed to get more reps with her in-ring work, whether that was doing house shows or being sent to other places to have dark matches. I think she needed more experience where she's not doing it on live TV. But I think Jade will flourish in WWE. It's a much better system for her. I think Triple H will absolutely love her. He will think she's amazing. And she's going to have like great opponents there. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, even like someone like Tiffany Stratton that's on the come up. And like icon like Becky Lynch. Like she will do great in WWE. It will be the best test of her because she will be given all the opportunities, and let's see what she can really do with them. And I think if you're a women's wrestler, WWE is a way better women's division to be in than AEW. Sad to say, but I would certainly want to be in WWE or Impact rather than AEW if I was a women's wrestler. It's just how it is. You get more attention, more TV time, better creative, better matches. So we'll keep an eye on this Jade Cargill story. If she has gone, farewell, Jade. Farewell. I will miss seeing you in random American hotels being the best looking person in the room always.